Okay, pyramids and temples. What do you know about them? Probably the same thing we know about them. Whatever the National Geographic or Discovery channels told us. So, with that said, um, let's move on to where they might have really came from. So, if you normally watch a channel, I do toy collections, stuff, and videos around the house. Got a Harold and Dan's toy collection. We normally do that, and I show off the old toys. But if you're one of the kids who watched the show before, maybe you want to stick around and watch to the end. You're probably going to want to see this. Um, First thing we have to do is like think about if there's a book that has anything on it. You're familiar with the movie Contact? Pretty much everybody knows the story. Contact. Get information from somewhere. They put it together, build a device, and well, you know the story of the movie. Anyway, moving on. So maybe there is a book out there that has that. First of all, I don't read the Bible. I haven't read it since what, 81? Pretty long time. Can't even remember a word in it. My brother, though, he's been reading it since the beginning of time. And he's pretty much got a 223 IQ, so he pretty much knows everything about it. And he's come up with some ideas and some concepts. So first thing we got to do is think out of the box. Like Maynard did. You got to look at things in a different light, different angle. So let's do that. So we got to start off somewhere. So where are we going to start off? I remember, I don't read the Bible. There's absolutely no preaching at all. But we do have to read some verses, and I wrote them here. Some things we need to know, because I'm going to erase that soon. So everybody, take a good look at that. Get the information. We're going to move on from that. So first thing we have to think about is where we're starting. So years ago, there was a sailor, sailed all over the place, and there was a time where the elites, the king, the queen, the pope, would pretty much burn you at the stake for saying the world was nothing else but flat. So we have to think differently. So you can't think like there's four corners of the earth. So you can't think like four corners. Pretty narrow. Not thinking right. Have to think this. Four corners. So when I say we got to think different, you got to think different. Got to be smart. We're Millers. We're smart. So with that said, let's start off with this guy who was a sailor, stood before the king and the queen, the pope, and said one thing. Isaiah 40:22. So let's open up to Isaiah 40:22. It is he that sitteth upon the circle of the earth, and the inhabitants therefore are as grasshoppers, that stretched out to the heavens as a curtain, and spreadeth them out as a tent, in dwelleth, to dwell in them. So let's erase this and start over with that. We have a circle. This all up here. It's been on here a while. Okay. circle. All right. So now let's move on. Now we need to go to Matthew. He's going to finish it off. So now we go to Matthew. Matthew 19, 20, and 21. Let's read them. And he commanded the multitude to sit down on the grass and take the 5 loaves and the 2 fishes. And looking up to the heavens, he blessed and broke and gave the loaves to his disciples, and the disciples to the multitude. And they did all eat and were filled, and they took up the fragments, and remained 12 baskets full. And they that had eaten were about 5,000 men, besides women and children. Well, there's 2 fishes. So, let's have 2 circles.
There's a problem, Dan. You're trying to do it on a flat paper. You need a paper that never ends. That you could put that pen on and continue writing and never take that pen off.
So we would need 5 loaves. So, where are 2 fish? Well,
Two fish.
Two fish. Okay. So we see 2 fish in our circle. So now, again, we have 5 rolls, right? So, let's draw a circle again. Five circles around the 1.
Again, it doesn't.
Still doesn't work. But there's 12 baskets. 12 baskets.
You'll have to put one out there and chew on it.
That can wrap around something. But what? It says it's 5,000. 5,000 miles?
I think you need 5,000 workers for these pyramids.
Well,
I think you're going to need 5,000 guys on each one of them.
we'll probably
pyramids.
need 5,000 guys working on each one of these
And then
that wrap around the earth equally. But then again,
what about the temples?
where do you stop it? So here we go. We got our 12 balls around our thing, but you can get the top, you can get the bottom, but these could just spin around. Where's the origin? Where do you stop it? So, where was Jesus put to death? Jerusalem. So, from Jerusalem, You could put your one,
Here's what we use.
finish all of them out, and you get the dodecahedron.
It looks like Plato was right. The Earth is a dodecahedron.
Plato was right.
Maybe.
So I see what
5,000 guys could do.
Isaiah and Matthew were getting at, and where Christopher Columbus started from.
Well, that's how he got the money and won the lotto. He proved the Earth was round.
Isn't that amazing?
The Pope and the
That with
Queen
just
could
that
not
verse-
deny that.
That is undeniable. So,
That's why they hate him.
so maybe there is a book out there
With all the secrets in it.
that might build something.
Maybe
It's up to you, but right now I just place the pyramids and temples on this planet.
How
for
come
instance-
how come there's more pyramids than temples and everything is equal?
Brian Forrester went here. Here.
Well, he's been all over the place. He's been everywhere.
now-
this thing.
If you're an adventurer and God gave you the ability to adventure,
Well, here you go.
there's one of a lifetime. Find all our pyramids and temples on the planet that are marked on these locations.
Well, they
There's
are.
20 points of contact, there's 20 points of non-contact, and there's 12 centers.
Well, it seems to me already that
They're already there. Let's
it
go
seems to
find
me
them.
already Hillary gave away this
So we know that that one's there because
one in Alaska.
the one in Alaska right there is the one
What
Hillary
about this one
sold.
up here in Canada over here?
They're here.
Oh, whatever happened to the one that was here by the Grand Canyon?
And some
I wonder if there's
you
a big
might
short
not
somewhere.
find because
I wonder if there's a big short.
there was an
Some-
event years ago, and we'll get into all of that later. Right now, you got God's map, His plan.
And if you really want to get serious, there's 30 temple pyramids and 20 temples. Now, what is that? It sounds sort of like a motor or generator of some sort.
We could be getting there, but for now,
Maybe that's where the 4,000 and
what we
more
need is
come
all
from.
these places documented
What about the 3,000 here?
and gotten. So now we could start. We have a starting point. Okay?
Cloven tongues of fire
Oh.
on these things?
Again,
Oh,
the dodecahedron.
I want the rainbow back.
And we need the
It
rainbow
belongs
back.
to us. It belongs to all
That
and everyone
is in later
who
episode.
believes
For right
in Jesus
now,
Christ.
okay, for right now, give a shout out to TMB and King David Ministries. We all have to give them a shout out. And one to my guys, the X22 with Dave, iPod, Sir Patrick Mack, Freedom Force, Melissa, LT, can't forget you. You're the man.
They're all
Anyway.
doing a great job.
Everybody, you're on it.
I can't wait
And-
to show them.
What I want you kids to do now that you
Power.
learned this, you can go to school, you could say, hey, pyramids and temples were placed here in some sort of chronological order. And
Someday,
what you want you to do
maybe
is,
they'll all have crowns.
yes, what I want you to do is read Isaiah and read Matthew. Okay, kids? And next, I'll give you a quick one on YouTube what the next person's going to be. That's till later. For now, Isaiah, Matthew, read them.